Hey guys, Psychotics here. I'm going to do a first reaction video on the new collab event with Rimuru and the time I got turned into a slime collab. So I have not looked at these champions yet. The only thing I know is that Rimuru has anti-stun in her kit somewhere. So we're going to look at him and see what he does. So let's go ahead and look at what he's got. So we got an Earth Warrior. Um, okay, his S1. It's called Okay, Shall We Get Started? Attacks the enemy, granting a random buff to the caster for one turn. You could get immunity, increased attack, crit resistance, and effect resistance. Okay. And it's for one turn, and skill enhances his damage. Not bad. It's kind of awkward because it's random, but it's S1, so this should be fine. The passive here on the S2. After attacking with non-basic skill, copies 2 buffs when the target is buffed, regardless of whether the attack hits, and grants their effects to all allies. That seems pretty good. So if you attack into somebody with like invincible or something, he'll copy it and grant it to all your allies. That seems pretty good. This effect is not applied to undispellable buffs, so that will work on uh, the rage buffs and stuff like from Firekin. When an ally is attacked by a buffed enemy, activates Be Ready against the attacker. Be Ready can only be activated once per 3 turns. Be Ready quickly approaches the enemy and attacks, increasing combat readiness of the caster by 30%. So when an ally is attacked by a buffed enemy, it's going to activate this, and it's going to attack and increase combat readiness 30%. We got damage on the skillets. Be curious to see how that works, but should be alright. Alright, let's see what this one does. Attack Sammy with Black Flame. A successful attack will inflict 5,000 additional fixed damage to the target. Fixed damage increase proportional number of buffs granted to all allies up to a max of 10,000 damage. The target is buffed, decreases defense of all enemies for 2 turns, unaffected by elemental disadvantage. Attacks the enemy. A successful attack will inflict 5,000 additional damage. So this just one shots everything? That seems kind of crazy. 5,000 extra damage. I mean, maybe not one shot, but if you have any squishy, is gonna get defense broken. That's kind of crazy. All right, let's see what these look like. All right, so S1. So we got increased attack that time, immunity. Nice. So let's see what this one looks like. I want to see how much damage it didn't proc the extra damage. The 5,000. I don't know if that's just because preview or not. Burn. See what that is. I didn't read the burn effect. I'll go back and read that. Burn decreases skill cooldown by 2 turns. So it's a 4-turn cooldown when you mull it, so that'll put it at a 2-turn cooldown. For 1 soul, that's not bad. Okay, let's go ahead and get out of that. Let's look at his artifact next. Anti-magic. At the start of turn, has 50% chance to grant a random buff to the caster for 2 turns. Immunity, increase attack, increase defense, increase crit hit damage, increase speed. At max level, it's 100% chance. That seems pretty nice. Again, I don't like that it's random, but honestly, all those buffs are fine though, so it's not like there's that big of a roll of the dice on that. So overall, I say it's a really strong champion. Definitely gonna be pulling for him. So definitely will be pulling for him. That 5,000 damage is on a successful attack. Just seems ridiculous to me. Um, all right, let's go to the side story and check out the free one that we get from the side story here. So we get Shuna. So she's a Fire Soul Weaver. Let's look at these abilities here. Magical Explosion. Attacks the enemy by manipulating magicals. And recovers health of the caster. Damage dealt an amount recovered increased proportional to the caster's health, so she scales off health. Soul burn for an extra turn. Dispels 2 debuffs from all allies. Redistributes health of all allies to be equal before granting a barrier. Barrier increases proportional to caster's health. So this will just equalize everybody's health, it sounds like, and then grant them a barrier. So if like you have a Spec Tenny that's been hit with a little cleave and she's a little low, you can equalize everybody. It'll essentially heal your lowest person and hurt your highest health person, and then give them a barrier. That can be really good. It's kind of like Spirit Link Totem from WoW from the Shaman. And it dispels too, that's pretty nice. Last S3 dispels 2 buffs. Oh, so she dispels twice. From all, or this dispels from enemies, okay. And 50% chance to put them to sleep. I assume that goes up to only 60, let's see, 10, 20, 35, so 85. That's pretty good. So dispels and then strips. So imprint, let's see, health and effect resist, pretty standard there. I can't preview skills from that though. There we go. Let's see what it looks like. So it's pretty standard. So this, we're gonna pop. There's the barrier. You can't see the distribution because it's just her, but and then this is her S3. Oh, I really like that. That's a cool animation. All right. One thing we didn't look at. Oops. I wanted to see what stat line they start with, but I don't see that on here. So I want to see what speed they start at, but I guess it's not on this page. The free artifacts you get with her, Flawless Garments. Effectiveness by 10%. Increase effectiveness by 15. At the end of the caster's turn, this effect can only stack up to 3 times. So 45% effectiveness. And 10% effect resistance seems pretty nice. So I'd be interested to see, because I imagine with him, you would build him pretty tanky. He's pretty sturdy. He's gonna do a lot with buffs. You shouldn't need a lot of attack if it actually procs 5,000 damage on the S3. And then the 10,000, like, you shouldn't need as much damage because of that. So you should be able to build him pretty heavy bruiser. I guess you could build him like pure damage and just go for super one shots, but I think you'd be better off to take advantage of the passive to have a good amount of health and defense. I kind of feel like you don't need a lot of speed on him because you want to take use of the passive, so you need to S3 after they've already buffed themselves. And then he doesn't need to be fast because he's going to CR push him if you get everybody buffed. So, and then they attack. So I think, yeah, it looks like you could build him kind of mid speed, kind of bruiser. That seems like what I would see. And he's got effects for this release. That is really nice. Or attack on Stealth. So those are my initial thoughts on the first two. I know there's one more coming out. I'll look at her when she comes out. Um, but that's my initial thoughts. I will be streaming pulls for Rimuru later tonight, so check that out. Thanks for watching, everybody.